Hey guys, so if you've been following my channel, you'll know how excited I've been to be diving into identity work with my students. And currently we are venturing into our identities as readers. I posed the question, what is reading to my students? And here are some of the responses. Reading is reacting and feeling emotions for a story, a time to relax, when you settle into a just right book. Is trying a book and reading it silently something that helps us try new things? It's basically a mindful practice to keep you calm at the moment. Looking at a set of letters and forming a word, it helps you learn different things. It helps you understand, a form of entertainment for people. And when you read a book and you get knowledge to use later. So you probably remember we read the important book, and these were the things we said that are important things about us. So one of the important things about us is that we're readers. And so I did want to make sure that we're being deliberate about continuously thinking about those things. And so I asked the question, what does it take to be a reader? And here are some things that they shared. All throughout the year, I do several things to get to know my students individually as readers. And at the beginning of the year, I conduct a reading interview, adapted from some of the questions from the Burke reading interview, which gets me an opportunity to see how the kids feel about reading, things that they do during the reading process, strategies they use, how much time they spend reading, who they think a great reader is, and what do they do to become a great reader, and then goals that they may have to become a stronger reader. Additionally, I conduct reading conferences with my students so that I can tap into strategies that they're using to be effective readers, and then that allows me to respond to their needs. So this is another part of the reading conference where I will collect an oral reading fluency component, and I'll get a chance to listen to the students read out loud to me and hear strategies that they use. And then there are comprehension questions that we'll just kind of talk through, and they'll have a written component where they'll write about their reading. But I also pay attention to little habits that they're doing to see if they're nervous or things like that will give me information about them too. So next week, we're going to revisit the question, what does it take to be a reader? And I am so excited to share some of these books with the kids, like The Oldest Student, How Mary Walker Learned to Read, because I'm hoping it will offer them a different perspective about what it takes to be a reader and who is a reader, and see how their responses change. The Wednesday Surprise is another book that I love reading to my students. It's written by Eve Bunting, and it helps us to explore illiteracy. I simply cannot go a year without reading more than anything else, and it's the story of Booker T. Washington and his desire to read. And it teaches us how learning how to read is a social justice issue. Another book I look forward to sharing with my kids is How to Read a Book by Kwame Alexander. It is a poetic picture book that celebrates the experience of reading, and you've got to add that to your classroom library. So stay tuned for more.